Just a quick rant. So recently I've been hearing that there's people going around claiming that the God of the Bible is actually a female. Now, honestly, I don't know how any person who claims that they've, read the Bible could come to the conclusion that the God of the Bible is a female. Like, I've heard people say, oh, well, maybe Satan is a female figure, which that's clearly not true, but that's a different video. But it's like, wow, y'all gonna sit there and say that God is actually a woman? Right, God's a girl? Like, where are y'all getting this from? Like, seriously, as a person myself who's read the entire Bible a couple times cover to cover, I mean, where exactly do they point to suggest that the God of the Bible is actually a female? Like, say, for instance, just to put the whole statement that they're saying to bed just off the start here, is what about Exodus 15, verse 3? It says, for the Lord is a man of war. Did you catch that? It said he is a man of war. So hold up a second. The Bible didn't call him a woman, it called him a man. So, I mean, just off of that one point alone, I mean, this doctrine is completely blown out of the water just with that one point of evidence right there. The Bible literally says in the book of Exodus that the Lord is a man. So, I mean, this is really, I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. It's just so sad and just strange to me, the doctrines that people are coming up with on the internet these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like yesterday I was watching a video that was on like a popular Christian podcast. I believe they had like 200,000 subs. And, there was this dude that called in and he wanted to challenge the two Christian pastors that were on stage. And they were saying that God and Jesus can be in a rainbow relationship, right? God is okay with it today. God can be in a rainbow marriage. And this guy called in and was, calling these pastors out. And these pastors were like, well, we really don't go to the Bible today to determine, the morals because, really you can find Jesus in your heart. So if the rainbow couple says they believe in Jesus, well, that's enough for God to be in the marriage. It's like, so what about the verses in the Bible that say that God doesn't change, like Malachi chapter 3, verse 6? It says, I, the Lord, change not, therefore your sons of Jacob are not consumed. So if God was not okay with that 2 or 3 thousand years ago, well, then why would he be okay with it today? And then here's a whole nother talking point, which will go back to the topic of the video. But don't everybody going around here, by a vast majority, believe that Jesus is actually God in human form? So hold up a second, let me understand this. So how on one hand could God be a woman if everybody on the other hand believes that Jesus is God and he's a man? You know what I'm saying? So somebody explain this to me. How the hell could, well, first of all, according to the scriptures, Jesus and the Father are two separate beings. That's clear, but that's a different video for another time. But just rationally thinking, if they were right with saying that Christ is a God, well, then how could he be a female then if Christ is a male and God is Christ? How the hell does that make any damn sense? I mean, seriously, like, I've never heard somebody who, makes this statement about God being a female. They've never been able to address a question like that. Really, I mean, I would argue that these people can't really even read, to be honest. I mean, again, there's literally no way you can read the first book of the Bible, right? Genesis, and come to the conclusion that the God of the Bible is a female. It's like just off of that one book alone, it literally refutes this entire idea. And all throughout the Bible, you'll see, Christ referred to as a he or a him, or God referred to as a he or a him. Like say, for instance, was that Jonah 3:10, where it says that God saw the people of Nineveh repented of their sins, and then it says that he repented of the evil that he was going to bring upon him. But the point is, it called God a he. It didn't say a she or a she male, right? Because that's a whole other thing. that people believe that God doesn't have a gender anymore, right? God made a male and female, so that means that he's both. It's like, okay, I mean, where the hell do you get that at? And then, second of all, when you read the creation account in Genesis, doesn't it say that God created man first, right, and created them in his image? So, how the hell could God be a female if God created man first before the woman, right? The woman was an afterthought, right? But man was created first. So, how the hell could God be a woman if man was made in God's image and men were made before a woman? So how the hell could God be a woman? I mean, that right there, that's a spiritual KO right there. I mean, that's the nail in the coffin on this garbage. I'll give another point here. There's a verse in the Bible that says that God is not a man that he would lie, right? God is not a man that would lie. So hold up a second. So it's saying God's a man. Now I've seen people try to, twist this verse, and they'll read it in portions. Say for instance, they'll read where it says God is not a man, and then they'll pause, and then they'll say that would lie. So see, it says he's not a man. It's like, no, dummy. The verse is supposed to be read without stopping. It's not putting a period after the word man. It's a whole sentence, right? It's saying God is not a man that he would lie. So it's not saying he's not a man, but it's saying he's not a man that would lie. I mean, it's very basic and simple to understand, right? For somebody that can read English or really any other translation that the Bible is written in, in language it's written in today. I mean, it's very clear to see what it's clearly talking about. Now, sure, some parts of the Bible are written in metaphors. That's true. Like, say, for instance, the apostles asked Christ why he spoke in parables. If you read Matthew 13:10, and Christ said, the reason it speak in parables is because it's given to you to know the mystery of the kingdom of heaven, but unto the masses of people it was not given to know. So that's why the Bible is written in codes and parables, because it's not given to everybody to be able to understand what it says. Then you got these dummies on the other hand. Oh, everybody's going to be saved, right? Everybody in the world's going to be saved. It's like, well, how the hell is everybody in the world going to be saved if Christ literally said that he didn't come for everybody? And then he said that the parables weren't revealed to the masses of people, the verse I just quoted earlier. So how the hell could salvation be for everybody if Christ said that the mystery of the prophecies and the interpretation of what he's saying isn't for everybody? It was only for a few people. It's just all around a ignorant and a foolish belief. I mean, really, this shouldn't take any longer than a 30-second conversation to prove that the God of the Bible is actually a male, not a female. It's so clear to see. I mean, anybody that can't see it is just, blind and delusional and just, willfully being ignorant, just willfully being ignorant to the facts. I mean, that's just what it is, man. But I don't want to make the video too drawn out. I just want to go on a quick rant about this new doctrine that I've been hearing on the internet. It really pisses me off. It's like, what are these people sitting on here talking about? It's like, has any of these dummies that's, sitting on these panels all day, talking shit, and trying to either, prove their biblical doctrines or trying to debunk the Bible or, a mixture of the two. It's just strange to me. It's like, do any of these people actually read the Bible to validate the things that they're saying? Like, I mean, seriously, this is, this is just getting stupid, man. It's like, really, I'm at a loss for words, to be quite honest, man. I mean, it's just so bizarre to me that here we are in, 2025, and people still can't get it clear that the God of the Bible is considered a man, not a female. Right? I mean, that's pathetic, right? I mean, that's pathetic. I mean, shit, out here, people don't even know their genders out in this country. Right? People be 20 years old and, confused if they're actually a male or a female or not. It's absolutely pathetic. But I don't want to make this video too drawn out. I'm going to wrap it up there.